Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to The Truth About Capricorns. It is finally your turn, Cappies. For those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, sorry that I missed Talk Tuesday this week. I have been feeling really under the weather. I believe it's related to my Hashimoto's disease. I think I'm having some type of a flare-up, so I've just been feeling awful and really uncomfortable and whatever all week. So I'm here, my hair's like still kind of wet I think, but I'm here and we're going to be talking about Capricorn. Now before I get into that, I wanted to go ahead and say, like I always do, that astrology is a lot more than just your main zodiac sign, as a lot of people would refer to it as. This is your sun sign, so it is a very big part of your personality, but there's a lot of other elements to your chart that will change it. If you're born at the beginning of Capricorn season, it's different than if you're born at the end. You have a different moon placement, rising placement. You have a bunch of other elements to your chart that will change your personality. This cannot be taken as 100% every Capricorn is like that. That's not how astrology works. That's not what any astrologist believes. Also, you may relate a lot to Capricorn if you are a Taurus or a Virgo, as they are all earth signs. So Capricorns are people that are born from December 22nd to January 19th, and the days may be slightly different each year depending on when the sun is in Capricorn. So some famous Capricorns are Jake Paul, Maddie B, Nash Greer, Finn Wolfhard, LeBron James, Zayn Malik, Meghan Trainor, Ricky Martin, Mel Gibson, Ryan Seacrest, Louis Tomlinson, John Legend, John Denver, Tiger Woods, Denzel Washington, Bradley Cooper, Tyler Henry, Max Joseph, Blue Ivy Carter, Jim Carrey, Elvis Presley, Pitbull, Patrick Dempsey, Al Capone, Kate McKinnon, Jude Law, Kate Middleton, Nicolas Cage, Orlando Bloom, Betty White, Kate Moss, Liam Hemsworth, Michelle Obama, Dolly Parton, Zooey Deschanel, Martin Luther King Jr., Ellie Goulding, Isaac Newton, Benjamin Franklin, and Muhammad Ali. So, Capricorns. I have a lot of Capricorns in my life. I tend to have a lot of earth people around me, as I am a Taurus, so I really bond with other earth signs. I really love Capricorns for the same reasons that I love other earth signs. They're very dependable, solid, and down-to-earth people. However, one thing I wanted to say to all of my Capricorn viewers is that I'm sure you guys are some of the ones that have trouble with some of my videos, that are really hard to convince of things like astrology, anything pseudoscience, anything out of the box, conspiracy theories, aliens. Capricorns are very skeptical about this kind of stuff. They see the world in black and white. It's very hard to explain a gray area for them. Like, they are very logical. They need to see things in tangible form, need evidence and proof of things. And don't get me wrong, some Capricorns, especially if they have like a water moon or another placement that gives them more of this like in-tune-ness, they sometimes aren't as spiritual, but some of them definitely can evolve and become more open-minded.
This episode, Kayla and Courtney, it was the one where there was a medium who was, she said she was a medium, and we thought she might be catfishing this young girl who's like 20, 21, and her father had committed suicide, and this woman claimed to be communicating with the spirit of her dead father. Well, we thought for sure that this person is a catfish. She's lying. She must know someone in the family. Why would she do this? We don't know. Like, what intentions does she have? Yeah. And we couldn't find any evidence that she was a catfish at all.
Very skeptical, looking to poke holes in this woman's story, and
not a hole to poke.
Left, wow. I would say, certainly.
But Capricorns are definitely known for being a little bit closed-minded, and not in a bad way. They're just more realistic and rational. They can be a little conservative, maybe about tattoos and piercings. Some of them totally love that kind of stuff, but a lot of them can be kind of conservative, and there's one way of doing things, and that maybe if there's not a point to getting a tattoo or a piercing, that, like, why would you do it? There's not like a practical use for that kind of stuff.
Only thing that gets on my nerves about tattoos, I get having meaning to them, that's great.
Right.
But some people come out with the most far-fetched description for tattoos, right? They'll have like a bird, right? Like this, look, there you go. Right. And you'll say, why have you got that bird? And before you know it, you're talking about freedom, and you know what I mean? And you're like, but really, you've just got it because it looks cool, you know?
They are a sign of practicality, and they're stubborn about it. Like, it's hard to convince them. Debating with a Capricorn is always really tough. Especially for someone like me who believes in a lot of things that are, I guess, unconventional. It's hard to really explain these types of things to most of the Capricorns that I know. They're just like, what? But, and they're very stubborn about opening to newer thoughts. They can also come across as kind of a know-it-all, but they really do know it all. They're really, really smart. Capricorns are knowledge sponges. They are excellent when it comes to remembering things, helping you study, doing math. They're really smart without having to try to be smart. Like, a lot of them end up being good in school without having to try very hard. They can remember random facts and entertain anyone at a party by throwing out some random science or history facts. Like I said, they can definitely come across as a know-it-all sometimes, a little preachy, a little like, I'm right and you're wrong and you're silly for thinking anything other than what I think. That kind of attitude definitely can be present with a Capricorn. It is a lesson that Capricorns should learn or be aware of, is that your way is not always the best way, even though you think it is. And this is something that really all earth signs deal with and have to learn. They can all be very stubborn and stuck in their ways. Capricorns especially seem to like have trouble letting it go, like they will fight someone on something. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is a difficult planet to be ruled by. Saturn represents life lessons and restrictions and challenges. If you've never heard of this, everyone has something called a Saturn return. No matter what sign they are, you have a Saturn return, and that's in one place in your life where Saturn will return to where it was when you were born, and you will go through some type of a life lesson or midlife crisis even, or some type of difficult, challenging time. Like, Saturn's all about personal growth, which is why Capricorns, being ruled by Saturn, normally end up growing a lot as a person as they get older. The older they get, the more shit they've been through, and the tougher and stronger and smarter that they become. Saturn is definitely, I wouldn't say unlucky, but it's not the most lucky planet. Jupiter is definitely the planet of luck, so your buddy Sagittarius next to you, they really got it set up. But Capricorns, I mean, it's gonna be hard for you guys with a lot of things in your life, and if you haven't had difficulty in your life so far, just be ready that things might happen to you, but you have to like know that you're gonna be strong enough to get through them, whether these are breakups, financial stuff, sickness, death in the family. They just go through a lot of challenges and a lot of life lessons. Often Capricorns have to grow and develop throughout their personality, and they have to do that by learning along the way, and sometimes the lessons aren't so fun, and sometimes and oftentimes the lessons are lessons that they've put themselves into. They have actually somehow gotten themselves into a bad situation, and the lesson is how to overcome it. And sometimes that can be addiction. A lot of them struggle with addiction. A lot of them really do have a lot of difficulties. So if you are a Capricorn and that explains some stuff in your life, well, yeah, there you go. Don't worry though, it's okay. You're gonna be really, really strong, and people around you love you for that because you're really tough and they know you've been through a lot of shit. And almost every Capricorn I know has been through a lot of shit, but they are the toughest and strongest, most resilient people that I know. Capricorns are extremely ambitious. If they have a goal in mind, they can definitely achieve it if they put their minds to it, but it will require them to put their mind to it. If they don't really care about it, it's gonna be a lot harder for them to complete a goal. Oftentimes Capricorns are extremely career driven. Earth signs really all have this like strong work ethic and need to be successful, but for different reasons. Like, I've noticed personally that for a Taurus, it's like security, money, just safety. For a Virgo, it's more status. I want to get up to the top level of in my job for the status. And with a Capricorn, they really like to spend money. They like fancy things, fancy cars, likes to treat themselves to the finer things in life. Good wine, good food, good booze, good weed. Not gonna lie, earth signs like weed. Capricorns are also extremely independent. They definitely like to rely on themselves only, and they like to provide for other people. That's when they feel most control in their life, is when they're able to do that. They are really independent. Often you won't feel like you need to be in a relationship. If you do get in a relationship, you're gonna be committed as fuck, because that's just how Capricorns are. But oftentimes they don't feel the need to be in a relationship. They like to experiment a little bit. They don't have that like lack of security that other people may have. They have a very active mind, and also the ability to concentrate. So the combination of having this active mind and concentration skills often allows you to think really critically.
And any successful person you know, even though it seems like everything just happened for them, it usually was preceded by a bunch of failure, or at least a significant amount. But the great ones aren't the ones that don't fail. They're the ones that learn from their failure and they keep going and they're persistent and they're tenacious.
You're a great problem solver. You have good ideas. You are normally successful in academics. There's one thing that I have noticed about Capricorns, and that is that they work smarter, not harder. Not every Capricorn's a really hard worker, but they're smart about how they work and how they make their money and how they live their life. They just do it in an efficient way. They are also very responsible people. You can definitely count on a Capricorn to calculate a tip. Not that that's responsible, but that goes along with their just skills in math. Normally they have skills in math. But they're excellent like planners. They're very responsible if you're going on a vacation. Any type of earth sign, honestly, you're gonna have a good plan. Like, we live to plan. Capricorns especially, they are very, very reliable. If they say they're gonna be somewhere, they're gonna be there. And if they can't be there, then they're gonna make sure to let you know. They're not the type to just be flaky and not show up. Capricorns really, really care about plans, making a plan in advance, and if someone bails on the plan, they get really offended. They like to have that control in their life. And Capricorns, not to mention, are probably great to have around in an apocalypse because they're extremely resourceful, logical, and quick-witted. They can come up with a solution really quickly to anything. They are disciplined. They are masters of self-control. A lot of them, depending on what it is they want to control, they can do it. Just know that if there's something in your life you're trying to control more, you can do it as a Capricorn. You just have to switch that focus and really commit, but you can absolutely commit to things like that and focus on a goal and achieve it.
To find other ways to win?
Yes, I do, but I'm naturally a tactician. Even when I was hitting the ball long and blowing over the top of bunkers, that was the strategy. And so I used my mind, and then eventually the method I used allowed me to master my craft.
Capricorns are sometimes never satisfied with themselves. Capricorns are always looking for validation, whether that they need to make sure that they're popular or that people see them a certain way. They're very concerned that they are not working hard enough. They're always very hard on themselves about almost everything that they do.
Is it difficult to do that after a night like this?
I just want to get better.
Capricorns are also very stoic. They can come across as like emotionless if you're not close to one, or even if you're close to one, it can be hard to break through.
John said that he didn't cry at the wedding or get nervous. Is that true?
He definitely did not cry. There was obviously so much happening, but I didn't expect him to really. He's not that emotional of a guy in that kind of way.
Barbara Walters is going to interview me for the post-Oscar show.
Do you think she'll be able to make you cry? Because that's her big thing, and they're trying to get you to cry.
This is what I'm nervous about. You know, I don't want to get on there and blubber like Patrick Swayze, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, well, did you see him? You see him? He's like, you know, I don't want to look like that. I'm sorry. I just don't. So I've been trying to build up my toughness. I've been trying to like build up my resistance to emotion.
Yes, I'm trying not to cry, but it was tough. It was tough.
Well, you did great. You sounded amazing.
They just really know how to put on an act. If they want to be emotional, they're going to be emotional. That's fine. But a lot of them can put on an act, like big time. They can be what they want. They have, you know, several default faces that they just have to hide what's really going on. Capricorns, though, are really fun, and when they allow themselves to be fun, they can be really, really fun. They definitely party really hard. Capricorns are actually known to drink a lot and to almost become someone different when they drink. So that's something Capricorns do have to be careful about. I think it's because the pressure of their life is so hard that they sometimes turn to alcohol or like partying to relax, and that's how they have fun. Capricorns are extremely good friends. They are lifelong friends, solid friends, someone that you can count on, a great person for advice, a great person to help you with a practical solution, to actually not just comfort you and say, you know, there, chap. They're gonna actually want to help you come up with something that will help your life, or, you know, ask, have you done this? Have you tried this? They're just gonna be really solution oriented and always there for you. They're extremely loyal. They are committed to relationships. Capricorns tend to get annoyed easily. Definitely get annoyed easily. They honestly hate pretty much everything at some point in their life. They can be a little bit negative in that way, but like it's definitely something that they can check.
I've covered a lot of fashion weeks. This is the first time I've run into
to Jim Carrey.
There's no meaning to any of this, so I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
Capricorns can be a little cynical about life, or a little matter of fact. It's not like a permanent negativity, but they are, you know, they are polarities with Cancer, and Cancer is a very pessimistic sign, and so is Capricorn in a lot of ways. They can be really kind of negative and dreary about things sometimes. Not all the time, but they can get in a mindset when they're like that. Capricorn is ruled by your knees, your skeletal system, and your joints. So as a Capricorn, you may have issues with these body parts, or you might have excellent versions of these body parts. Does that make any sense? Like you might have really strong knees, or a great skeletal system. That's possible. Or you can have issues with your joints, especially your knees as a Capricorn. But if you have a Capricorn in your life, be thankful, because you are lucky. Having a Capricorn is awesome. They are such good friends. They're loyal, they're tough, they're just always there for you. A little message to my little Cappies out there. I know that sometimes things can be tough for you guys, and that you do have many challenges to overcome, but please understand that you can do it, and don't be so hard on yourself along the way. Capricorns need to learn how to practice self-love more than they do. That's why they often feel pressure to be someone they're not, or to be someone for somebody, or achieve something in their career. A lot of them feel like that will close or fill that void, but the only thing that's going to fill that void is self-love. So if you can work on that, you'll become a much happier person, and life will be better for you. And if you've already done that, congratulations, you are an evolved Cappy. But that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed learning about Capricorn. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed learning something. It truly does help me out. But that's it for me today, guys. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see